Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network, and it's Friday. Happy Friday to all, and that means it's Friends of Best Ball. I'm joined by Chad Candles, and we are doing a breakfast coffee BBM6 in just 1 minute. That's right. Happy Friday to all. This is much earlier than I usually draft, but if you know Chad Candles, he is in the Best Ball streets, a lot of morning streams. So be sure to check out his channel. It's in the description of this show. Chad, how are you doing today? I'm so excited to draft a BBM6 with you.
Yeah, I'm doing great. This is you said it's early for you. This is late for me. I'm usually signing off at around 10. So
I know.
If I can stay awake for this one, we'll do we'll do our best.
What time do you usually draft? You like 8, 9 a.m.?
Yeah, I try to go live around 8:30 or 9. Some of it depends on like how soon I can get the kiddo out the door in the morning and
right.
And how all that's working. But yeah,
all those real life factors. Yeah.
So it's a bit of an underserved market in the morning. So I like to get that, people are waking up and just want to, rip some drafts or just have some content going in the background or whatnot.
Honestly, beyond Pete's like Monday's stream, there's really not many morning streams. So no. I think you got the market on that. And so again, if you're watching this on playback, we might have more people watching us playback than we typically do. Be sure to follow Chad Candles on Twitter, follow his YouTube stream. Again, link is in the description. I'm going to jump in a room because sometimes that takes a while to fill up and then we can chat as that's going. So let me bring over Underdog, of course. And then we are going to be doing a 30-second BBM6. So if you would like to join us, I will count that down. I guess they're filling a little quicker than they were now the schedule is released. But so yes, if you would like to join us, I am going into a 30-second BBM6 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. So 9 more to start. So that's why I definitely wanted to pull that over because it takes a while. Let me say hi to folks in chat really quick. And then we can chat a little bit more as we wait for this draft to get going. We got my brother, Steve, of course. This should be a good show. Expecting some Camp Scatterboot. Yes, I have a question about that in a minute. Stephen WC, always good to see you. GM, Megan, Chad. We've got Tim. We've got Paul. Happy payday. Yes, happy Friday. Happy payday. Exactly. Fantasy Football Garage, GM. Our guy Spread on the channel. Always good to see him. He's on Tuesdays. DraftKings drafts. Check them out. Tim D. Hopefully the winner's drafted here. I'll take that. I'm happy to split $2 million with you. That would be amazing.
Be awesome.
And we've got Green Bean chat. Always good to see you, Green Bean. Anybody wants to join us? We are waiting for 9. That's why I wanted to get it rolling. But yeah, no, this is fun. I mean, I actually finished my coffee already, but coffee and a BBM6, that's a good way to start the morning. I personally am dressed up and early because I am in Baltimore, which so is Chad too. We are actually truly neighbors, which is wild. But I'm going to the Black Eyed Susan race. It's kind of like the Kentucky Oaks of Pimlico and Preakness, except a much shittier place to go to. Have you ever? So now that I know you're a Baltimore resident, have you ever been to Pimlico?
I'm like the worst Baltimore resident because somehow every year there's some conflict that comes up. And so I have not been to the Preakness yet. I feel like I'm going to make it to the Derby before, even though I could
you totally
see
should.
Preakness from the roof deck if I really, craned my neck probably. But it's it's something I really want to do. It looks like fun.
Well, it's fun. I've gone for a while. I used to go to Preakness, and then my friends and I we're older. Let's go to Black Eyed Susan Day, on the Friday. But Pimlico is disgusting. It's awful. They're that's why horses. I think the horse that won the Kentucky Derby isn't even racing in this race because it's gross. Who wants to bring their horses here?
I can't believe they don't all flock to Baltimore. It's weird.
Yeah. Hey, we both love Baltimore, but
no,
Pimlico,
I do.
Oh, Pimlico is the worst. So I think they're leveling it actually, and then going to move it and then bring it back or something. I don't know. Somehow they charged more for it this year for as they're about to demolish Pimlico. I think starting Monday. So
The horse is going to be racing to have a bulldozer behind him.
Yeah, you know, the bulldozers are going to be ready to knock it over. Yeah. We got Mike Robin chat so early, very, very early for me. Not for Chad, though. Again, check out his morning streams. Link in the description. I'll get to Tim's question in a minute. We got GM's gang. Good to see it. Our guy, Tyler. Always good to see Emo Cowboy in here. Get to some questions in a minute here. But I have to say, so my brother, Steve, went to school with Chad's wife. So you have met Steve in IRL in real life. Yeah. And I didn't remember this, but I met you once in real life. Yeah. So, and then I didn't remember that we were basically neighbors, and we truly are neighbors. So that's wild. Mind blown.
I didn't know Steve did. I knew Steve was doing fantasy, but I had no idea he was like in the best ball streets. And then I was actually on like Fantasy Dog Pound in his, see Steve. I'm like, I know that. I know that. I'm like looking at the thumbnail, trying to like magnify it. I'm like, no, that's definitely Steve. So I was like particularly DMing him, trying to be like, I hope you don't have this closed. I'll never find you again.
That's hysterical, because I actually remember that stream, and I remember you being like, I know you in real life. Or I met you in real life. I think that's crazy. Absolutely hilarious. So small world indeed. You and I literally live in the same like area of Baltimore. So I think this means we need to get my brother up here to visit me.
Yep.
We need to do like Bruni, who hosted Jeopardy, who's on our channel all the time. He lives in Baltimore. I know Jim Waller, who was in chat the other night. He won like the Pitbull a couple years ago. He lives in Baltimore. So what this is all lining up is a Baltimore best ball meetup at some point this summer.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. So now I have to ask, I also got intel from Steve that, am I correct that you went to Arizona State, which means you share. Okay. So you're an Arizona State alum. Yes. That must've been a super fun season this year. So
I went to the playoff game, actually.
You did.
So I was there for the legend of Scatabo being unleashed upon an unready nation. Yeah, it was cool, because at halftime it was looking grim, and I was just like, all right, universe, just give me a reason to cheer, like make it worth the trip. And it was just like such an epic game, and I wish we'd won, but it was super fun. And also Matthew Golden, is he going where he is if he doesn't break my heart and catch that 28-yard touchdown on 4th and 13?
Right.
Brought a massive blitz after not doing that all game.
I can't believe that's awesome that you were at the game.
Yeah, it was super fun. A bunch of my buddies from college went, so we made a trip out of it. It's never happening again for ASU. Like, we're not going to the playoffs for like.
Well, you had Cam Scatabo just carrying you guys on his back, right?
We had nobody else even invited to the combine. They invited like 350 people, and there were no ASU people but Scatabo. I mean, this was not like it was Scatabo. Like our quarterback's pretty good too, and I think he's going to stick around. There was some fear he'd leave in the transfer portal, but exciting stuff. A lot of fun. I'm not a ASU, slappy. Like, I'm not a big Ayuk fan. I've just never been in on him. So it's not just like.
So it's not all ASU players. No. Yeah.
You got to actually be like Brock Osweiler. Never thought he was going to be good. And
what about Jaden Daniels? What about while Jaden was there? I mean, it was much different. That
just says how bad that the staff was, that like Jaden Daniels looked terrible at ASU. So but clearly it was us. Like, clearly it was the program and it was so like we somehow managed to make him look bad, which just shows you.
Well, that was he was in he played like 4 or 5 years. I mean,
I think he I think didn't he have a couple transfers before?
Yeah, before he got made it to LSU. So
but it was unfortunate. But I root for. I love Daniels. He was one of my favorite picks last season. It's a little bit of sticker shock where he's going now. But
I know. Yeah, big difference. I'm going to check a 20-second room just because we are not we're moving the needle much here. So I'm going to check a 20-second room. So I'll let you guys know what the difference is, and then we can. Okay, there's only 2 more. So if you guys want to join us, if you did join us, get out of the 30-second room and get into the 20-second room, because it's a much, much, much less wait, which means, Chad, we are going to have to be flying through our picks here. Yeah, we're going to be quick. We're going to be quick.
I see Steven in chat. Herm Edwards was the coach, and that's what I was alluding to, is that he clearly thought of Arizona as somewhat of a retirement home, like many do, and that was not a very well run program when he was at the helm.
Okay.
All right. We're
off. We're in. We're in. Let me see who's in with us. Hopefully, if you were able to get in, I saw 1 or 2 other people got in and out. So hopefully you were able to do that as well. Let me pull this over here. So as I'm doing that, so I assume you, like Steve and I, are a Scatterboo truther, drafting plenty of Scatterboo. This is going to be great. This is going to be a perfect fit.
No price is too high. It's funny. I actually looked at big board, like pre-draft stuff. I was only at like 26% somehow. But then on like Underdog or on DraftKings, I think I'm at like 35, 40 in the pre-draft stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I ended up Steve sent me like right after the college football playoffs, he was sending me like video clips and he was like, you've got to draft Scatterboo. And then I just became obsessed and I couldn't like get off of it. And then the more I watched them, the more I was obsessed. Okay. So we have Paul in with us at he is at the 2 spot. So he's on the clock now. I'm just going to stay here. Then I'll bring up the bigger board since this is going to fly. So Paul takes no Jefferson Chase. So we're at 9. Let me see here. Morning draft here. I don't think I see anybody else. I'm not sure if you recognize any other names, but I don't see any of our typical drafters with us here. Just Paul got in with us, and glad you were able to, Paul. So what do you usually like to do here at the 9 spot?
Honestly, the first round, I kind of just go by ADP. I think the click I'm least excited to make is Gene T. I do worry that we're like paying a lot here for rookie running back, which doesn't always pay off like this high up in the first round. I feel like I really like the receivers, but that said, like I don't want to be below market with him. I'm not like upset to get him. I'm big on the Raiders this year. I think they're gonna play fast. They're gonna play. I don't think their defense is good. I love Geno now playing in a dome, so I'm fine taking Gene T if he comes to us. If he's the guy.
I like Genty, but honestly, if Neighbors falls here and he does, what do you think about?
Let's do Neighbors. I love Neighbors. He was somebody that I was taking ahead of market in the pre-draft stuff, and their quarterback situation is unsettled, but I think they're all going to be fine. Like I'm not worried about any of the New York QBs there,
right?
And if you see me look to the right, I have the playoff schedule there, so that's behind the curtain.
I know. I'm still
cheating to see who they're playing, and they play the Raiders week 17, which is a game I like.
I'm glad we can work together on this quick 20-second clock because, truth be told, like I still need to do some updates. So Best Ball Overlay, use code Fanspeak. You get $10 off a month for just $30 a month. You have all the exposures, the correlations. I need to set all that still. So next week I will have all that totally set and organized. But today, now, what's your thoughts on Christian McCaffrey? If he fell,
I take him. I would absolutely take him there because, again, if he's actually healthy, and we keep getting word that he's healthy in the summer, he's just going to keep rising.
Yes.
And again, it's going to look silly.
Damn. Okay. I've been trying to get Malik Neighbors and McCaffrey because I'm so.
I take London here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I need some more London, so that works.
I'm a big Drake. I'm in the camp, and I think it's a minority, but we're kind of loud that Drake London is pretty much in that end of that first tier of that like Nico BTJ group. I don't think there's a big fall off to Drake London myself. It's a little hard to judge because the Penix explosion games, I think Mooney was hurt for most of it. So I don't think we really have a great idea of how that like is going to break down, but I don't know. I liked what I saw from Penix enough last year to be pretty in on London.
No, same. I need to get more. It's more because like if one of those running backs fall, like especially McCaffrey, I take him, and I acknowledge that I need to get more Drake London. So I'm glad we started Neighbors London. I wanted so badly to get McCaffrey because someone posted on Twitter like what's the number spot you're going to want? What's the players you need? Like in that first, like basically the first combo, the rounds 1 and 2, and I answered Neighbors McCaffrey if you can get it. I don't know. Yep. It's just like, just a gut feel.
I love that. I think that's great. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking McCaffrey in the first round especially if you're at the end of the first round.
I think if we get more positive news, that's why I do think the Neighbors McCaffrey is going to be so hard to get because obviously it's honestly hard. At this point, feels hard for Neighbors to even come to get to 9 necessarily. So that's going to be harder and harder to get. So if I can get it, I'm gonna try for sure. Let me get to there was a couple questions earlier. Our guy Tim, who do you guys think is going to absolutely skyrocket up draft boards August and September, and who is flying under the radar? Do you have thoughts on that?
I think I think one of the Jags running backs is going to skyrocket. And my guess is it's Tootin. That's how I've been drafting.
I need more too. I need to get more too.
But if they trade one of the pieces away and, it's going to be Bigsby is the lead back, Bigsby, I think is going to skyrocket. He's a guy I have none of, but I'm fully willing to like change my priors if we start getting news there. But that's how I've kind of,
I know that's been one where I've just kind of been like a deer in the headlights, not knowing what to do and then not doing much with it because it is like a crowded room. How about who's flying way under the radar that we might be? I mean, I guess that's similar situation.
I'm trying to think of like under the radar. To me, it's funny because I feel like all the guys I liked in BBM have already slid. I take Chase Brown here, by the way. We're up next. That's
I would love that.
Okay. I would love Chase Brown. If he's not there, then I think we have a decision. I would probably just take.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
totally Brown here for myself.
Absolutely. No, absolutely love that. To start 0-1-2, Chase Brown, Neighbors, London feels really nice for me. Again, we are on the 20-second clock. We've got Paul in here with us. Glad to see him. So we're coming up in just 5 picks. I'm super bullish on Hunter, so I do have him ranked higher, but I'm willing to go, in various different ways. So top of the board right now, based on ADP, is Allen, Evans. Jackson, Lamar just went. Hall, Hunter, DJ Moore, and James Cook, and then get into Dan. So
who do you generally like? It sounds like you like Travis Hunter if he's
probably Travis. I'm letting DJ Moore fall because he's been falling. I'm actually going to do another rankings adjustment. By the way, check out our best ball subscription, just $34.99 for the entire year. Link in the description. I'm kind of letting Moore fall a little. Those is right around his ADP. Yeah. So Hunter goes, Allen goes. We're up. I haven't taken much Brees. If you want to go that route, I just. I've
taken like none, but I feel like if I'm ever going to take him, here's kind of
these are. I'd say either of those, or we could reach up for Metcalf. Are you fine?
Let's just take Brees then. That's fine.
That's fine with me.
I haven't taken any of him, and I forget who I was listening to. I think it was Corain on Corain's show, and I think some of the reason, and I kind of looked in the mirror and said, "This is me." Like, we're judging Brees Hall on like him being a 1st round pick and him kind of busting for that price. But now that he's in the 4th round, like what are we doing? Like we probably should actually be taking some of him. So I've come around to saying I need to add some Brees Hall exposure, even if he's not my favorite click. I don't want to end up with none of him.
Same. I'm kind of the same with both Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall, where, just because of the offense, and I don't think they're going to score a ton of touchdowns this year. And even with Fields and Fields might take some of those himself, that I have not taken much of either. And it is kind of like like you said, look yourself in the mirror and say, am I going to be comfortable with that? So no, I want to get some. I want to get some for sure. So
for sure.
I'm fine with that. I like that click. We got Fantasy Football Garage. Of course, the Candyman, check him out, and his YouTube channel, Coffee and Best Ball on a Sunny Morning is hard to beat. That is true. I'm not much of a morning girl, but it does feel good to, have one BBM6, one shot at $2 million, but by, hopefully 11 a.m. here. How many BBMs have you gotten in so far? Or just total drafts so far? I'm kind of taking it slow. I was waiting for the schedule. Where are you at?
I've tried to take BBMs slow because last year I was done like way earlier than I wanted to be. I think I've done like 11 or 12, somewhere between 10 and 12 BBMs. But then I think I've done like 55 puppies. And then just like a couple random, like when Jewish McCaffrey pings for a sprint, I'll like,
I went in on the sprint.
Donate $20 to you.
Yeah. I really need to pay attention to Jewish McCaffrey's tweets, put like a notification bell to make sure I get those. Cause I was going to ask you that. So Steve and I kind of were talking about it yesterday. I really want to do honestly a lot more sprint than BBM. Yeah. I just think that's kind of fun that, the 1 of 13, 1 of 16, it's hard. And so I think that's kind of fun that you're just, one bad week is not. I was just going to queue up Kittle. Damn.
I would have Kittle. I love Kittle there.
Okay, I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but where are we in relation to? Okay, so like the Chase and Higgins drafters passed on them. I don't mind taking Burrow and then getting Gesicki, but I'm also fine not doing that.
I don't mind doing that. I mean, I don't know if you want to try to push
Yeah, we could probably push that. I was going to say a lot of running backs here, but we do have 12 seconds left. Mixon, Chuba, Kenneth Walker, and then top of the board, Jennings.
Mixon there and then Burrow. But if you're out on that, you can just take Burrow. We can discuss next.
That's totally fine. I don't have much Mixon yet either. And we can see, I mean, let's look at running backs here. Again, quick clock. We'll be back up right around ADP. We started, I mean, this could even be a hyper fragile if we wanted to.
We're pretty strong there.
Neighbors, London in the receiver room. Up next on the board is Jennings, Dunze.
No, Burrow went. I'm sorry, I said to push him.
Oh no, that's okay. I just wanted to throw that out. That like,
no, I don't mind doing that. I
have Chase Brown. I know people are like, oh, taking naked Burrow, but like honestly, if Burrow falls too far, I am the one, and I'm probably then an unpopular person in the basketball community where it's like if he falls like to early 60s, I might take him and then just stack him with Gesicki. So, but yeah, no, I have no problem with that. I mean, we have plenty of time to set up some good stacks here. So, I mean, Jennings
is my preferred
and Diggs both have quarterbacks that I like. So what would be your preference? Jennings obviously is
I think
much
Jennings
better ADP value.
Better by ADP and
Okay. So we start a nice fun balance 0-3-3 there. I think that gives us optionality that like if a running back falls in our laps early that we really want, we could do hyper fragile. Have you done much of that or did much of that last year? I know you were in chat with Steve and I's Sibling Showdown talking about like battle royales and building for the running back to hit the flex. And that's kind of how Steve and I build best ball and that kind of stuff. And that's why I am going to lean into like the marathon a lot, because then I think that even leans in more to like, or leaning into running backs early can be even more powerful in that format maybe. But how do you kind of build for running backs to hit the flex as well?
I do. I've really been trying to just vary my structures a lot. I think last year I got really 0 RB pilled to like a fault. And it wasn't like a horrible year for it because there were some hits like Bucky and Chuba. My problem was I was out on Chuba
and Chase Brown.
Chase Brown. So I had a lot of Brown and Bucky. So I did okay, but I really wish I had like said, okay, this is going to be a robust RB team and build accordingly. This is 0 RB and build accordingly. Like, so I'm really trying to vary it. Hyper fragile, I definitely think should mix in. I mean, that's how Herzig won, BBM won, and then people tail that, and it's obviously hard to pull off. That's why they call it hyper fragile. But
but basically, you just need them to stay healthy and do what they're supposed to do. And it worked for me. That was my Bulldog team. It was 3-4-8-3, and I got in the second, third, and fifth round. I got Saquon, Henry, and Jacobs, and it was like, well, that's all I needed.
There you go. Yep.
But yeah, obviously you need. I mean, also build a couple hyper fragiles with Christian McCaffrey and Isaiah Pacheco. Those were obviously sitting in 11th place teams. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
So it just depends. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. You got to mix up the different structures because speaking of Pat Fancy Dog Pound, he had a good data show of like the different things. And hyper fragile was very underutilized, but very successful last year. Obviously running backs early, very successful. But the year before it was receivers early. It was 0 RB was a smash the year before. And then the year before that, it was like really paying up for QBs. So it's like, we have no idea what's going to be the thing this year. We go back to this tab. We are one pick away. Well, Diggs is still there. I don't know where you stand on Diggs.
I would be happy taking Diggs if he's still there. I mean, we almost took him last pick.
He goes right before. Okay, so top of the board. I mean, if we want to go receivers, it's kind of a little bit of a reach for Mooney or Downs, but I don't mind them. Pollard.
Aaron we could take Pollard and go hyper.
Or we could go Scatterbo.
Oh no, we can push. We could probably push Scatterbo around the turn. I would do.
Okay. You want to do?
We could do Mooney or Pollard and hyper fragile.
Okay. We did Mooney. Okay. Yeah, Scatterbo, his ADP is now. Yeah, he probably wouldn't come back to us at 90. No. So if we just want to like lean into for the bit or for the love of the game, for the love of Scatterbo, we could do it. Or they're top of the board. Hawkinson, obviously, a lot of the quarterbacks here, and then Scatterbo would be the running back that I would choose. So
I think let's just take Scatterbo here. Yeah, because I would have been fine doing Scatterbo Mooney before.
Right. Okay, so we get Scatterbo. Yeah,
perfect.
All right. We got our guy. We got our guy. And so I think with this build, Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Joe Mixon, Cam Scatterbo, you could do that at like a hyper fragile and I like to do hyper fragile when you're kind of waiting on quarterback, kind of waiting on tight end. You still address receiver. We still have 4 receivers. So that's when I think it works best. That's how it worked for me last year. So I think it's set up to do it that way. Obviously, if a running back value falls, we can certainly do that as well. So our stacking options, as we come back, there are some. I mean, we can see
Purdy's apt to be there at 105.
Yeah. So I was going to say, what would be really fun is if we could get like Purdy May with the next 2 and then just address receiver. I don't know, because I'm trying to look. Our next 2 picks are 105, 112. That's pretty close to both of their ADPs.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think probably Penix is a priority because we have London and Mooney.
That's true. That is true.
But I mean, I'm also of the camp, like, you know, I could see a world where they're fine and then they're outscored by Purdy and May. Like, I'm not like we have to take Penix here, but
No, yeah. Because where is Penix going now? I'm actually wanted to look that up.
That was like 135, I think, ish.
Right now, 146.
Oh, so I mean, that's later than I thought, actually.
So yeah, so where do you stand on like 2 versus 3 quarterback builds, or does it just depend on where you're buying?
I vary it up.
Yeah. So, I mean, certainly I think here at 105, Purdy, if he falls to us, is definite.
Yeah, I would be good taking Purdy.
Okay, we got 2 more. Oh, sorry, I'm sharing the wrong tab.
No,
2 more.
Good.
And then as of now, he is there. That would definitely be fun to start with our first quarterback being Brock Purdy. I'd be happy with
I got
that.
No problem there.
Quarterbacks falling here. We got
Caleb, I know, like
Justin
even
Fields,
naked Justin Fields is
you could
always
do
something.
that too, quite honestly.
And we have Breece.
Yeah, so
we have a little.
I mean, I know all 3 of these quarterbacks. I'll leave it up to you. Dealer's choice.
Oh no! You know
so
what?
Caleb goes, but we got Purdy and Fields right there.
Oh gosh, let's take Fields. Let's live a little. Let's try something different. We could take Mason later at tight end if we want. Mason Taylor.
Oh, I love it. We just put up. Oh no, I'm putting it up tomorrow. Steve and I taped a Mason Taylor rookie.
There it is.
The fact that he's going in the 180s or whatever, 170s, like it's really Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and Mason Taylor. You know, so I like that a lot. Okay, now the big question is, do we take a double tap? Do we double tap quarterback here, or do we address like tight end or receiver? Receiver hasn't. I mean, if you wanted to try to push May, you could try to bring in Kyle Williams too.
I know if we had taken May, then we would have had a natural like May Williams situation, which might have been nice. A receiver just gets so thin.
Because we didn't get Diggs. Yeah. Okay. So it's Mims, Williams, Kirk at the top of the board. And
I would take Mims or Williams here, I think.
Your choice.
Oh, gosh. Let's do Williams.
Okay. There we go.
Sorry.
There we go. And who knows? Then maybe May gets pushed back to us because we took, Kyle Williams. So
I only say that because receiver now, to me, that was the cliff. Like to me, if you look at the receivers that are available, it's like it gets really gross there, and that way we at least have 5. We have 2 Falcons, so like if we're thinking bye weeks, then one of them is going to have a non-Falcon is going to have to get in.
And I'll keep an eye. I'll queue up Penix to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Penix again. Like I am okay if we don't end up with him.
No, but you make a good point. We have the double stack, so I mean. Yeah, you make a good point. I do like, especially in BBM, if possible, if the prices make sense, like to get 3 quarterback stacks, just because it's so damn hard to get through that 113, 116, and then there's like 3 outs for it. So who knows? Maybe we'll get some falls here, maybe not. But I like our start because honestly, for going really running back heavy, we're still 145, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I usually do. I'm more of a late tight end build. What do you typically do? Or I know just mixing it up, but
I hate to keep saying mixing it up, but I do.
But that is the correct answer. I honestly need to mix it up more. Quite honestly, I truly do.
Yeah, I try to like pick like one of the strategies and stick with it like in a draft. But I mean, I'll say like if you listen to me in big board era, I'm like double elite tight end believer. Like, because I think it's underdone when you have 20 rounds, because you have you have more bullets, and the rookies like are going to rise a lot. So you can actually like take the 2 locked in tight ends, and then you can get that like massive ADP value on your like Harveys and Trey Harris types who like end up high. Like you can build like super teams and be like really set at tight end. A lot harder in the big board when like that rookie value kind of evaporates. So I don't do it as much like in 18 round drafts.
Steven,
but I have no problem with 3 late tight ends.
No. And you're right. I need to be better about just mixing it up. Steven makes a good point. We have some Jets, New England, week 17.
Completely intentional, Steven. But I was just 100% when I was thinking of there when we took Fields.
So do we want? I mean, I don't know where you stand on Drake May, but
let's just take Drake May. You like Drake May.
I am a big Drake May girl. Yeah. Secret be told, I really actually now I look like a big fool, but I really wanted Drake May to Washington. And obviously Jaden Daniels is amazing, but I really think Drake May is going to be pretty amazing too. So
no, it's a good era for the young quarterbacks. Like we got a really good crop last year, which is good because the NFL is so much better when like we have actual quarterbacks and not Kenny Pickett like starting games on our TV.
Exactly. That's brutal for our televisions. Okay, so tight ends as coming back up at 136. I obviously think we can push Penix here with the double stack. So tight ends, Njoku, Ferguson, Goddard, if you want to look anywhere there. And then receivers, it's,
it's disgusting.
Like, we hit the cliff. So it's good that it's good that we got 5 for sure already. So, and then if you did want to go, I don't think we have to because we invested so early, but right around ADP is like Rashad White, Javonte Williams, we're up in 1.
Njoku would have been my pick. For me, I'm Goddard over Fergie, but if you have a strong opinion, I'll defer to you.
I'm totally fine with that. I think getting our first tight end here is nice, and I'm totally fine with Goddard.
Okay.
Waiting till the 12th round here, and we get Goddard, that feels good. So
I just don't understand why he's fallen so much. Like
because it was like the whole trade thing, and then he didn't get traded. So look at that, Steven. We got the New England Jets correlation. Look at us. Look at us.
Who would have thought?
I like the name Brocket Chip. We did not get the Brocket Chip, but that was good. Mike Robb with his classic jokes. Just starting the morning with a little Penix. Penix. I said it the other way. And then Paul says he is trying to kind of push Burrow, especially when you're doing volume. I totally get it. And he definitely won't rise above the 4 or 5 turn. So I agree with that. I'm just saying sometimes I'm the girl that people hate especially if I have like Chase Brown, or if he falls like super far, I'm like, okay, well I could backstack this, but I totally get people trying to push it, especially when you're a volume drafter.
I don't think it's like always wrong. I mean, I know one of the things I remember from like Nerdy Tenor's sims that he does on BRs is one of the things he said was naked QB's underdone in BR. Mm-hmm. Like people just do not do it at all to the point where it's like not great, but it's actually like can end up being slightly EV in certain circumstances. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes we get so like rigid with like our rules and stuff that we just like ignore value that's screaming at you, and you never know. You show up in the finals with Burrow and everyone else has triple and double stacks, and you have Gesicki later, and that's like it's a Gesicki game, and you just
that's what I mean.
Bury everybody.
Steve's 4th place big board team, which is similar size finals, like 500 and some people, 500 and some entries. He had naked Baker, and he happened to have Higgins, so he kind of hit like a parlay there, but like he did, and it was just simply because he got value on Baker. He tried to get K-Dot and wasn't able to get him, and he had a naked Baker team, and Baker was what brought it home for him in the to 4th place in a massive big board sweat.
Yeah, so it's amazing.
I don't think, to your point, I don't think our rules have to be so rigid, because people will be like, well, how could you win with that? And you're like, you'd be surprised. I mean, Gesicki in that game, if you did have a Burrow, Gesicki had more points than Chase in that week 17. Obviously, it was Higgins that went like nuclear. But okay, Penix falls to us at 153.
Just make this a 3 QB team.
I'm into that. Are you?
Fine. Yeah, let's do it. I love it. We got 3.
Stacked or correlated. Double stack with Penix, May and Kyle Williams, and then Fields and Breece Hall. So kind of soaking up all that equity. of the touchdown equity, which I really, really like.
Yeah.
So we will be back up. I'll just keep it here. We will be back up at 160. So done a quarterback, obviously. But I do love that it's all correlated. Again, TBD, if you want to go another running back, I do think we are strong at running back because we invested 4.
I wouldn't take another running back till 18, like if we took
right.
So,
like if one, exactly.
Yeah,
that's what
someone we love.
Yeah, we definitely got to prioritize receiver, tight end. So I'll just look at the board there. Top of the board at 160. Thielen, Gesicki. This is a nice tight end range.
Yeah, this is not bad at all.
Yeah, so Gesicki goes. We're on the clock. Freiermuth, Strange.
I'm fine with either. Do you have a preference?
I'm going to put them both in the queue, and with 10 seconds left, I'll let you choose. I really like both. I do
like both.
There's not a wrong answer here.
All right. You know what? Let's just stick with Freiermuth. I think I'm okay with that.
That works because I probably would have tried to switch it and miss it because I'm not good at it.
I know I'm really into both guys. I think I might maybe more into Strange generally, but I also feel like Freiermuth for some reason like didn't get the Pickens departure bump that I was expecting. Right. So I just don't know if like we just don't
to get him still at 160. I think that's nice. Because I know obviously DK Metcalf is going to soak up most of the targets. Obviously, Warren will get some out of the backfield. But Freiermuth's kind of, got to believe, second in targets, right?
Yeah. Right. As of now, I mean, there was I saw in the Matic Discord, someone posted an article saying like the Steelers were interested in trading for Olave. And I'm like, that is just not good for Olave bags and would not be great for Freiermuth, but it was like, I don't know the source. I have no idea if there's any validity to it. It's definitely not enough for me to like not take a guy I'm interested in now as a tight end too.
Right. Absolutely. No, I'm happy with that. Again, we waited on tight end till I think the 12th round and Goddard Freiermuth feels good. So, I mean, we'll get one more, but like that, to have those two and tack on one more feels good. Oh, let me queue up Mason Taylor because we talked about that.
Oh yeah, Mason Taylor would be perfect there.
I'm a queuer. Sometimes the star method bites me in the ass.
It'll get you sometimes.
It'll get you sometimes, but it just helps me remember, especially a 20-second clock.
Now, hypothetically, would you value that over Strange if Strange came back? Like what do you value more? That's crazy.
I
guess that's the eternal question of best ball, right?
Okay, so can you look at your chart? Do we have any correlation with Jacksonville? That would be fun. I just use that as a tiebreaker. Okay, he goes the decision.
Decision made. They played the Jets week 15, so we could have been.
Okay, do you want Mason Taylor be done there and then tack on 2 to 3 receivers?
Yes, that would be my preference. I think.
Okay,
so who's your late receiver du jour in this range? I usually
I'll queue. So Slayton.
I like Slayton.
We have Neighbors. I know we don't have the quarterback, but that's fine. To me, honestly, we could queue up Calvin Austin, but one of the Pittsburgh receivers. I have bumped down Tolbert, but are you fine with Slayton here?
I'm fine with Slayton.
It's a little early, but like he won't.
See who's
I'm so sorry. I totally.
Slayton's fine.
Yes, it would be Slayton, Keenan Allen, Calvin Austin, Tolbert.
Slayton's good.
Okay,
Slayton's good for me. I haven't taken much Calvin Austin because I feel like we can wait to find out if it's him or Roman Wilson, assuming they don't bring anyone. And I don't think they're going to rise like that much. I think they're still going to be in this 16th round or later. So I feel like that's a bet I'm good. I'm good holding off on, at least how I've liked to play it. I don't know. It looks like you do have Calvin Austin ranked. So
I actually not as high as other people in the industry. So I had Calvin Austin. I pumped him up, but then I didn't bump him up near as high as others across the industry did. And then I bumped up Roman Wilson to a point where he's basically draftable in your last click.
Yep.
I do agree with you on like a BBM. Let's just wait and find out more information. But in time box tournaments, I am interested in taking some shots because I think both, but especially, and I wrote about this in an article, I think on Monday. Again, check out the Best Ball subscription on Substack, $34.99. And you get 3 or 4 articles from Steve and I. Just posted Steve's rookie running back part 2. So part 1 was earlier. Part 2 is up now. You'll get access to our rankings. We're going to add all the different formats, all the different sites. But I just wrote about 18th round clicks in time box tournaments I hit on 9 Sam Darnold time box tournaments last year, and that was fun. And I didn't get any finals with those teams, but it was fun. A lot of those obviously advanced to playoffs, and it's just a fun, because I did those in obviously June and July before the McCarthy injury, and so he was basically in those. Just me probably owned them.
Just like completely unknown player.
And so I think like a Roman Wilson. I think now in like the puppy schnauzer, I think you will have some ownership on Calvin Austin. I don't think you're going to get much on Roman Wilson. And so all the reporters, I forget which one, but there was multiple reports that the GM is, and again, what do we believe in May, but is expecting, a year or two, if he can stay healthy, break out for Roman Wilson to be very involved in the offense. So I will say in time box contests, I'm interested in Roman Wilson as like a low owned click, but for BBM, I don't think it makes as much sense. So
I think that makes a lot of sense too. Like delineating the time box versus like, there's so much time in BBM to catch up, like getting a guy who's 0 owned now, like, you're taking a lot of risk and you might not actually capture like the low ownership you think you will.
Right. I did not do a good job of bringing over the tab early. Let me bring that over. So we have 2 more picks left, 17th and 18th, 3, 4, 6, 3. So we could either go receiver, running back, or 2 receivers.
Are there are there any Pats like secondary options you like? To me, it's such a morass between the like.
Not really.
Douglas,
Douglas just went. I mean, it would have been a consideration. So top of the board, I don't know how you feel about Tolbert, with the situation, but it's Tolbert, Hopkins, Coker, Wicks, Mitchell, Tutu, and then Roman Wilson.
I literally just try to sprinkle these by exposure. Okay. So if you want to take Tolbert, I think people have completely abandoned him.
I think they've abandoned him, and I think he's still on an offense that, if one guy goes down, he'll get enough that he's our 7th.
Have some contingent value, and I don't think he's like a 0. Like he should be there. I mean,
so any other like late clicks here, and then let me bring up both running back, receiver, because we'll be up in 4 picks for our last pick. So you have Giddens, Hopkins, Coker, Brashad Smith, Nick Chubb, Ford, Estime, Gordon, Mitchell, Tutu, and then again, if there's any like scroll down receiver, like Steve and I clicked to MVS last night.
I don't mind clicking MVS. If you want to end with MVS, that's fine.
That's a fun.
You guys MVS pilled me yesterday, so I've got no problem ending there and just doing hyper fragile. I mean, like our first 3 picks were 3 in the top 57. So I think this is fun. I think this is a fun one too. Sweet.
So we end 3, 4, 8, 3. And boy, does that draft go fast when you have a 20-second clock. That was fun. That was awesome. Let's see how the rest of this draft goes. And then we'll look at our team. We'll look at Paul's team. That was fun. I am happy with the way it turned out. What do you think?
No, I don't think this is a bad team at all. I think we like had a plan. We stuck to it. We didn't try to try to take any quote unquote like late round value at running back. Cause I think a lot of the time, like ADP value can be a little illusory when you get past like round 14, 15, like after that, it's like, a lot of these guys are really darts. My guilty late round pleasure at running back is Ollie Gordon, Brashad Smith.
I was going to say, I've been mixing in a little. I needed to mix in a little Ollie Gordon. I've mixed in some Brashad Smith.
Probably bad.
I'm like, what if he's McKinnon? What if he's McKinnon? Yeah. What if he's McKinnon?
I know.
What are any other favorite late round clicks as we are?
Savion Williams over in Green Bay. I take too much of him. Isaac Tesla, although he's like starting to move into like not last click. Like I see him going. Often it's the golf guy or someone trying now to make some playoff stack. Ty Felton, I like. I feel like he's a little under the radar, and I think he has some sneaky upside if Addison's suspension happens.
Right.
And if he steps in, I know they still have Naylor, so that again, he's a candidate for a like wait and see as who's the wide receiver 3 in Minnesota. But I like taking the flyer on him a little bit as well late.
Which, by the way, our guy Spread says that he went to ASU for a year. So you have an alum in chat. Our guy Spread. James said, I have Roman Wilson big board shares because I'm crazy. Hey, that's going to be really low owned in big board. So, Green Bean says, oh no, people are finally coming around on Brashad. So yeah.
I have like 25% in the big board. I have been.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, he carried he was like the Scatabo of SMU. He just like they fell on their face in their playoff game, so he didn't get the like hype, but I mean, he carried that SMU team that when we saw them play like a real team or like in the playoffs got just absolutely destroyed. So
right.
I don't know. I converted receiver. I really like Brashard Smith, and I hope this Chiefs do too.
Yeah, no. And I had McKinnon on my, only made BBM finals once, BBM3. And McKinnon was like the late season hero. So got a little love if that could pan out again for that. So
just run it back.
Yeah, let's run it back. Okay, so let's go over Paul's team and our team quickly before we get out of here. So Legion 13, Paul at the 2 spot, 2-5-8-3. So he's got Hurts, Goff. That's always a nice quarterback room there. And then Jacobs, Bucky Irving, James Conner, Zach Charbonnet. So he did. Oh no, and then Rico Dow. Sorry, I missed. I was like, oh, we both did hyperfragile. And then Rico Dow. So nice running back room. Chase, Jamison Williams stacked up. Matthew Golden, Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris, Josh Palmer, Adam Thielen, Tutu Atwell, and then Kyle Pitts, Terrence Ferguson, and Jawan Johnson. So yeah, he kind of did a later tight end build too. And then obviously anchored, by Chase, JMO, and then some fun rookie upside shots here. So this is I like this draft, Paul. Very fun. What do you think? Any thoughts on Paul's draft?
No, I think he has good structure. Got some of the later guys I like. I think you did pretty good there. I like the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully it's Paul and us, since nobody else is in the draft with us. Let's go. Paul and us.
Getting out of our pod.
Getting out of the pod. Let's go. That's right. See you in the finals. Okay, so we are at the 9 spot, 3-4-8-3. Got Justin Fields with some falling value there. Drake May, Michael Penix, double stacked, and then Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Joe Mixon, Cam Scatteraboo. So your guy, my guy, we're happy. Malik Neighbors, Drake London, Juwan Jennings, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Williams, Darius Slayton, Jalen Tolbert, and then MVS, Dallas Goedert, Pat Freiermuth, Mason Taylor. So again, did the hyperfragile, but this is how I feel like it at least feels comfy to me, as we kind of waited on quarterback, double tapped in that area, still got the Michael Penix double stacked. All our quarterbacks are stacked and correlated. And then we waited on tight end, but still got, 3 nice ones with Goddard, Freiermuth, and Mason Taylor, who's correlated too. So yeah, definitely some upside swings with like Slayton, Tolbert, spike week guys like MVS. But I think we have a solid enough stable of Neighbors, London, Jennings, Mooney, even Kyle Williams to kind of balance out. How do you feel about our team?
No, I like our team a lot. I mean, I feel like anytime you kind of have a plan and stick to it, then we don't know what structure's going to work, but I think we have a pretty good example of hyperfragile, and we're probably either going to finish like 11th, or we're going to be fighting to top 3 and hopefully get in that top 2 and get out of the pod here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I realized I had the wrong screen on again.
No,
so
it's okay.
My bad on that. But hopefully I read it well, so that
you did.
But I really like this team. I'm going to do my best to not label it love it, because every time I label it love it, like it's just a total disaster. But I do love it. So I'm glad you do too. But you made an excellent point. I think the most important point to take away is kind of let the draft come to you. We had some running back values that we liked, and of course had to get Cam Scatteraboo, and then then lets the structure come to you, and to diversify the structures. I think that's so important. Sometimes I get a little too locked in, and I need to mix up my structures a little bit more. Paul said, it's the 2 of us moving on. See you in the finals. So that works for me. Green Bean 30% free drafts on Smith. So let's go. I like it. Any final thoughts for the people? Tell them again where to find you, and are there certain days you're doing the morning streams?
Yeah, so it'll typically be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then ideally Thursday and Friday if I can. But those 3 days are the days I'm like pretty well committed to. Somewhere between 8:30 and 9. I try for 8:30, but sometimes it's got to be 9. And the Chad Candles YouTube channel. But yeah, Meg, thank you so much for having me here. This has been so much fun, and Fanspeak, you guys are doing amazing stuff, and I just I love watching your content, and I'm so glad I got to be a part of this here today.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. We'll have to have you back with Steve, since in real life, we'll have to get the Baltimore Best Ball meetup going this summer. We got lots to still kick around here. So I'm sure we'll be having you back plenty. if you ever want us to join you on a stream, let us know. But yeah, this has been a ton of fun. So
absolutely,
we appreciate everybody in the chat. Hit that like button on the way out. If you know any ponies for me to bet on, DM me. I don't even know what I'm doing in horse basing. I literally will pick a horse based on the name or number, like a lucky number or a name. So don't know what I'm doing there, but no, we appreciate everybody coming into this morning draft. Paul, for drafting with us, everybody in chat. Hit that like button on the way out. Make sure you're subscribed to the Fanspeak Network and check out our Best Ball subscription link in the bio. And of course, check out Chad Candle's YouTube. Again, he's streaming in the mornings. Have some coffee, draft with him, draft with Chad Candles, and check out his YouTube. So this has been fun. For Chad, I'm Meg, and we will see you next time.